Hi everyone and welcome to the channel. My name is Celso and this is Ryan, and we are here to finally make our predictions for semi-final 1.
This is based on everything we know up to now. Of course, we haven't seen the rehearsals yet, so things could drastically change once we get to Basel in just over a week's time. But yeah, this is what we think going into the rehearsals, just based on current odds reaction and etc.
So the first country is Iceland. I think it's a funny song, but unfortunately after Estonia and Sweden's performance, I feel like it's going to be a little bit forgettable. It's a great opener, but I don't see Iceland qualifying for the final. I actually put them in last place.
I feel like if there's going to be a surprise in this semi-final, it could be Iceland, because it's very unusual for the top 10 in the odds to be the top 10 that qualify, and I feel like this is catching, it is going to appeal to some viewers, which is why I have it finishing 9th just as a bit of a surprise.
So the next country is Poland. I feel like Justina has a great song. Unfortunately, it's not a great running order. I feel like she will perform a little bit early, but being the only female solo singer of the semi-final will make her stand out. I feel like they will give us a very similar performance of her national selection, very energetic, very powerful, and she can sing, she can dance. I'm hoping the Polish diaspora will vote for her, and I can see Europe liking her. And despite not having UK, Lithuania and Ireland, one of their best friends at Eurovision, I can see her qualifying, so I put her in 9th place.
I think for this to qualify, it is relying quite a lot on the Polish diaspora. I don't think it's going to appeal to the casual viewer. But unlike last year, where Luna probably didn't qualify unexpectedly, Justina is a big name in Poland, so she is going to get the diaspora voting for her. So for that reason, I do have it as a qualifier, also because it will stand out in terms of it being one of the only female singers, and I have it in 8th place.
Okay, next we've got Slovenia. Slovenia is very lucky to be in this place. They are between two loud songs, the Polish entry and the Estonian entry. It's a standard ballad, very emotional. He can perform this ballad very well, and I can see Slovenia squeezing him and qualifying for the grand final. I put him 10th. I like the song. I feel like people will connect with this entry, sounds authentic, so I can see good things for Slovenia.
The song has grown on me. I think it's better than I initially thought it was. But it's all going to depend on if they can convey the message of the song in the right way. I feel like if it was on later in the running order, maybe, and we'll see that with Serbia when we get to semi-2. But in this case, I do feel like it's just going to get completely forgotten, and that's why I do have it coming in 15th in last place.
Wow. Okay, so next we've got Estonia. This one is a funny entry. I like the fact he doesn't take himself very serious. This one is one of my favorites, and Europe will vote for Estonia. This is going to do very well in the contest, so not much to say. Is a definitely qualifier for me.
I think the national final performance was disappointing. I thought it was going to be a bit more interesting than it was, and I hope they are going to make some changes for Basel. But obviously I can't deny the fact that there has been a lot of reaction to this around Europe, and it does tick all the boxes for a song that will get lots of televotes. So yeah, I have that finishing 2nd.
Yeah. So I put Estonia in 4th. His charisma and this catchy song will do justice, and it doesn't need to do loads of things on a stage.
So performing fifth in the first semi-final will be Ukraine, and I think if this was representing a different country, I don't think it'd qualify personally. I don't think it's very accessible, and I don't think it has that wide-ranging appeal that you need to have to be a qualifying entry. Obviously there are extenuating circumstances here, and I do think that there will be support for Ukraine, of course. I don't think it will be as strong as maybe we've had in the last couple of years, also due to the fact that the song isn't of as high a quality, and that's why I have it finishing fourth.
Okay, so quite disagree. I put Ukraine in second. The diaspora will vote for Ukraine. They will do well in the semi-final. The song is unique. It's very experimental. I know it's not very votable, but I feel like the audience will appreciate quality, and when you like this music style, you will vote for this entry. The performance, I feel like they will manage to give us a very similar performance of their national selection. Simple, effective, colorful, and I can see Ukraine doing pretty well in the semi-final. It's a locked qualifier for me. So the next one is the fan favorite, Sweden. I don't think there is much to add to this entry. They will definitely qualify. Europe will vote for them. I do generally believe they will win this semi-final. I put them first. And let's see if in a grand final the juries will vote for them. But yeah, this one is a funny entry. It is a banger, as we say, very catchy.
I also have it finishing first purely because obviously the reaction has been massive. I don't get it. I don't see why it's so well liked. I don't, especially compared to Estonia, which doesn't have the fan hype, and I think Estonia is better than it. But yeah, I can't deny what, of course, the reaction has been, so it does seem like it will come first.
So, next one is my home country, Portugal. Portugal. In my opinion, it's not very interesting. I feel like people will not connect with the song. I can't see people understanding the meaning of the lyrics. The staging will be crucial in here. I know musically it's not very captivating, but we got few friends in this semi-final. We might get some extra points, and as I was saying, if the staging helps to understand the lyrics, if they manage to get their message across, they might make it. But as it is right now, I put them 13th place.
I also have them 13th, and that is based on it picking up a few points from the diaspora countries that they have, being Switzerland, Iceland, I think you mentioned before, and they have Spain as well. But to be able to qualify, I think they needed all of their support in there, which would include Luxembourg, it would include France. So I can't see how it will amass enough points to make it through.
So the next country we have...
It is Norway up next as we move into the second half, and I feel this is a solid performance, solid song, solid qualifier. We're going to get the same, I imagine, as what we saw in the national final, maybe with a different costume as has been advised. So yeah, and for that reason I have it right in the middle of my qualifiers in 5th place. I think it's just a solid entry.
This entry personally doesn't say much to me. I don't understand how people like so much this song. It's quite average for me. But it performs well, it sings well, the song is quite catchy, quite memorable, and because of all the hype there is having lately, I put him in 6th place.
So we move on to Belgium, which was one of our early season favourites to win the contest. But I feel like its hype has completely disappeared, and I don't listen to it very often. I don't think it's that accessible. By what we're hearing from Cyprus, which is the most similar song to it in the semi-final in terms of the club ravey sort of sound, it seems like Cyprus is going to be a lot more accessible with a lot more unique staging, and I can see for that reason Belgium being a shock non-qualifier for the second year in a row, and that's why I do have them coming 12th.
Actually, I put Belgium also in 12th. I feel like Cyprus performing after, especially closing the show, will definitely take some votes away from Belgium. Sebastian will have a very powerful performance, very memorable, vocally. He knows what he's doing. I feel like this entry will definitely need a boost from the juries in case if we have them in the semi-final. And
I think based on the national final performance, it's also, if they keep it similar, it's going to be a very dark performance, which is going to make it more difficult to connect as well.
with the artist. Yeah, so I feel like they're gonna miss again the grand finals. So the next one is...
We're on to Azerbaijan, which I think is a good song. It's a very radio-friendly song, but for that reason, I don't think it's a competitive song, because unless they can do something amazing with the staging, I'm not seeing where that moment is where people are going to vote for it. And sadly, because I do think it deserves to qualify, it will be another year without the final for Azerbaijan, which is why I do have them down in 14.
Okay, for this one I'm very optimist. I put Azerbaijan 7. It's a very modern sound. I feel like they are very charismatic, especially the main singer. And I feel like Azerbaijan knows how to stage their entries. The song is very catchy, and their traditional elements are that special thing that we need at Eurovision. I feel like Europe will connect with him, and this song will stand out. And I feel like it's about time to have Azerbaijan at the grand final, and this song is one of my most played songs of this season, and I will be devastated if I won't see Azerbaijan at the grand final.
They've really got to play on that ethnic sounds to have a chance, I think. Which also brings me on to who we have up next, which is San Marino, which I've been thinking about quite a lot in terms of our good old DJ songs don't have a good reputation and a good record at Eurovision. If we think back to Halo, Darude, even if you go back to the 2000s, we've got DJ Take Me Away, Light Me Up, Poland in recent years. All of them didn't qualify. And it's because it's difficult to stage a DJ song, because the DJ is the focus and they're not singing. The difference is, if we think about San Marino's song, the instrumental is more of an ethnic-y sound that aligns more with what you get from Moldovan entries. So I think it's all to do with the staging this song, and they've got to try and make it different to what other DJ entries have done before. I'm hopeful, because San Marino do tend to have decent staging, and that's why I'm optimistic and I've popped them through in 10th.
Okay, I've just put them 11th. San Marino has Albania in the semi-final. They've got Italy. They've got Switzerland. I would say all these three countries, they've watched Sanremo, because Tutta l'Italia is the theme of Sanremo, and they will definitely get higher points from these countries. But as it is, with the performance they have giving us, I don't think the rest of Europe will vote for him. I feel like they need a completely different stage. He needs to get involved with the singers. I don't really appreciate to see a DJ just being there and not focus on the singers. They need to try something different. So for that reason, I put San Marino in 11th, but it's a great song.
It's one thing Poland did well with Donatan and Cleo back in the day, because Donatan was the producer, the DJ or whatever, but he sacrificed himself on stage, and obviously it worked out very well for them. So maybe
I don't think he will do that,
no,
but
he won't.
but could be
But
could actually work for them. Yeah.
Moving on to, you just mentioned Albania, our only other female vocalist in the semi-final. I think it has become a bit overhyped.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, I really like it, but I don't think it's a potential winner or whatever some fans are saying. I think it's going to do slightly better than the typical Albanian result.
Top 12, it would be a great result for them.
So I think it's a safe qualifier, which is why I put it in 6th. But I don't. Albania doesn't have a great staging history, which isn't their fault because I don't believe they have the budget. But I think that's the ceiling for this one.
So I put Albania 5th. I don't think she will struggle to qualify. The song, it is good, but because people have been playing this song so many times, they've been talking about this song so many times, is that kind of entry that I just cannot see in front of me. I don't think, as Ryan was saying, this is not a winning contender. I feel like if she managed to get top 10 will be brilliant. I don't think the public will, in a grand final, will vote for them. With the juries, I can't see the reason why they will go for this one as well. With great vocalists that we will have in a grand final, I can see them top 12 with the juries, never with top 5. So it's definitely a qualifier, and then we will have to wait to see which place they get in a running order at the grand final. So the next one is...
It's Netherlands, who is one of our other overall favourites. I think we're about 5th at the time of recording. And I think it's a good song. It's very catchy.
Repetitive.
He seems like a good performer. Netherlands are very hit and miss with staging, I think. Obviously they kicked off the whole staging renaissance with Common Limits over 10 years ago now, but since then they've had some great stagings and some not so great stagings. They need to try and recreate this music video, which is a really good music video. I imagine it's a very safe qualifier, particularly with its running order, but whether it can be a top 5 contender in the final, it's all going to depend on if the staging is going to appeal to the casual viewer.
Yeah, so I put them in 3rd.
And 3rd for me as well.
Yeah, it's a locked qualifier for me as well. It's not my favorite songs of the semi-final, but I do appreciate the fact that the song has quality. It's way repetitive for me. I keep saying the same thing. As a Portuguese, I wouldn't like to have a Spanish song representing me, and in this case he represents the Netherlands and they sing in French, so okay, for me it doesn't sit very well, but it is what it is. 3rd place for the Netherlands, and good luck to him.
So we move on to Croatia, which is certainly one of the more unique entries. I thought the national final performance did really improve it. I think it's better live than it is on recording. And I feel like Croatia do better with the televote than we tend to think. Even if we think back to Albina, who did in qualifying, I believe she did qualify with the televote.
I think.
So I think it's going to be closer than we might imagine. I still don't think it's quite a qualifier, but it's got a good running order slot, and I think it will pick up the odd points here and there. So that's why I put it in 11th.
Oh wow. Okay. If I put Croatia 14th. The song I don't think is the strongest. Being almost last in a running order will help him, but I don't think it will be enough to qualify. I do believe he's gonna miss out of the grand final. But the key point here is who is voting for this entry. Diverse music styles in this song, and I can't see people having him as their favorites.
So if we move on to Cyprus, who are closing the semi-final, which is usually an indicator that there's something special that's going to happen. If we think back to Armenia in 2022, that seemed a bit of an unusual closer, but then we saw that she had this massive paper house for Snap. And from what we're hearing, he's going to be flying around the stage on a scaffolding or something like that.
Everyone's off talking about it.
And we've seen a clip of him singing, which does seem pretty good. And Cyprus do have a history recently of good staging, good qualification record. So at the moment, I see it as a solid qualifier. Obviously, lots can change once we actually do see this live. But that's why for now I have it in a solid 7th.
Okay, I haven't seen perform this song live yet. I believe he can sing, I believe he can perform, but I was expecting him to have dancers with him. He's gonna give us a completely different performance that I was expecting. I'm very curious to find out. It will be a great finisher, and I think Cyprus will end up qualifying. I put Cyprus in 8th place. The song is great, is catchy, and I can see Europe vibing with this entry.
So that's our thoughts for the first semi-final and what we think is going to happen prior to rehearsals starting, which will begin tomorrow. But stay tuned for our rundown of semi-final 2, and we'll see you once we get to Basel and see how those predictions will change.
Alright guys, so thank you very much for watching, and see you next video. Bye!